Did you have something you wanted to show me?
Well, one, I have new glasses. These are brand new glasses.
Probably misses his old glasses.
Usually I wear contact lenses. And the last pair of glasses I had, I stepped on in the middle of the night because I went to go to the bathroom because I'm 40, and then I stepped on them.
Madam Web origin story where a fireball hit your eyes, and like, and when I came to,
I had more clairvoyance. And
how many times a night do you get up to pee? Since you're so old.
I mean, honestly, not that much. But if it is, it's once a night.
Yeah, for me, it's once around. This is just to make sure everybody knows. It's it's once around like 5 a.m., which is not a great time to have to get up and pee. By the way, because that's like, I'm an easy sleeper. I can like lay my head right down on the pillow and go right back to sleep. But nevertheless, it does kind of, you want it to be in the center of the night, if anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when I wake up at 5 a.m. to pee, just like you, and yeah, I'm thinking of you too. That's weird. Anyway,
it's like Kylo Ren and Rey when they like very suddenly are connected. It's like through our pee streams, they're kind of like meeting right in the center of the universe.
Yes, yeah. I have them shirtless and I have a very wide chest.
You're like not ready to be shirtless on screen.
So at 5 a.m., there's a thought in your head. You're like, I could be up for the day. Like you could work out, you could do something.
Well, an extra hour sure sounds great. I normally don't do anything with that hour. I go back down. I sleep because sleep is necessary, as it so happens.
Yes, especially when you have young children, you take what you can get. So the thing I was going to show you before we crossed the streams.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
What?
Don't cross the streams.
Why?
Was this little 8-bit dough controller? It's a little green one. I saw it and it was I don't know. It really inspired me. The reason why I got it was because I'm going to be traveling soon, and I wanted a controller that I would take with me. And like I have this other 8-bit dough controller, and it has like the handles and the wings to it. And it wouldn't, like, I don't think it would fit in my travel bag as elegantly as this one. And then I saw the green, and I just thought it's just captivating. It was unique, captivating.
It's kind of a way to like signify quickly, like, oh, that's my Go controller.
Yeah, it's my Go. Green is Go. So I'm gonna put it in my bag. Gonna go fly. I'm gonna go to San Diego.
Oh wow!
And and
San Diego, yakking it, whacking it, smackety smack.
San Diego, jacking it, jacking it, jacking it, jack.
I think it means a whale's vagina.
San Diego. Which, of course, in German means a whale's vagina.
So let me ask you this. What I've learned about you over the years is that your gaming of choice is on like an iPad or like a portable television. Is it because of your eyes? You're not as likely to use like the analog pocket or something?
Yeah, exactly. I got the analog pocket, and then when I got it, I realized I don't enjoy using it. And I think that's mostly because I'm like old and I can't see it, and I just don't like focusing on it.
It's got a big, kind of a nice screen, doesn't it?
It has a nice screen. So there's a couple different things that have changed my mind recently about most handhelds. Is that one, iOS has official emulators now. Like you can go into the iOS store, the App Store, and you can download a few different emulators. So one of them is the Delta emulator, which has, I have it right here, and right now I have a Phantom Hourglass playing on it right now. So you can do DS, you can do a bunch of different stuff. And I've been finding that this is kind of good for some games on just the iOS. Yeah. And so I feel like that's enough for me. It's just on the iPhone, and then on the iPad there's RetroArch. I don't remember.
Who knows?
And it's one of those, and also on the iPhone. And so you basically have all the decent retro emulators available to you. And the iPad is 4.3 too, 4.3 as well. And so
432. That sounds like a hell of a resolution.
yes, it has a little depth to it. It's great. And so, yeah, and so, 4.3, Retina display, and then you pair it with a 8-bit controller like this one, and you're in retro game town, baby.
Yeah.
So that is more my speed. I'm finding like I bought one of those Ambernick devices. I bought the analog, and I don't use them because I don't find comfort in them.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
And so I think this is the way I'm going to go. And that's part of the reason why I got this extra Go 8-bit controller. And that's and also like if I want to capture footage too, which is kind of like I don't really want, me personally, and Jason Graves has also expressed this, is like when I'm playing a game, I want to be, going toward content in some ways.
Exactly.
And so it's pretty easy to capture footage on an iOS device or on your laptop or on an iPad. So I have that option. So that's my reasoning.
So I'm going to show you some stuff as well. I've continued this Laserdisc collection of mine. Here's what happened. Nina bought me some Laserdiscs years ago for Christmas, and then I didn't have a player. And this was before my retro, area had gotten set up in the house with the nice Panasonic TV that's a DVD/VHS, and with all the consoles and EverDrives and all the nice, beautiful stuff, and the 8-bit controllers and everything. And so she got me like a handful of laser discs, like Forbidden Planet, E.T., Peter Pan, the Disney one. I think that was kind of it. There weren't Clerks. She did get me Clerks, and I haven't really bought a whole lot since then. I've gotten a few, and more recently, Dario, our fan, sent me the CED of Dr. No. And boy, there was somebody in the comments, man, that was like so pissed that like on the podcast, I accidentally called it a laser disc. And we put a title up that said like CED, sorry, the Dr. No laser disc. Look at this.
Oh, geez. Every time like I see a Laserdisc cover, like my heart jumps. It leaps with joy.
You're gonna have to get one. You're gonna have to. This is the next thing that's gonna happen.
I know.
And he was like, "Well, you just think that somebody who's like claims to be as into Laserdisc as you." I'm like, I don't claim to be. It's like I have like a handful of Laserdiscs. I'm just having a little bit of fun here. I'm not like I never said like I'm the Laserdisc expert. You fuck. And he's like, well, you're walking around acting like you're some Laserdisc hipster. He called me a hipster. I was like, excuse me. Do I look like I'm trying to come off like a hipster to you?
That's me with the glasses.
Yeah, talk to EJ and leave me alone. Anyway, I've continued to buy a couple of Laserdiscs. So there was one, I don't know why the mood struck, but I have Clerks, right? Oh yeah, of course I got the Star Wars ones. You saw that. That's in the collection as well. There's really just very few Laserdiscs. One thing that's awesome about them, they don't take up much space. Like you can these are nice. They're huge, but they're thin. Love it.
Yeah, you can stack them.
My Laserdisc player, by the way, is also a combo DVD player. I insisted on doing that before I had a TV that had a built-in DVD player because I was like, oh, that'll be nice, and maybe I'll play some of my optical media more often. So yeah, the mood struck where I was like, I think I'd like Chasing Amy, the Kevin Smith movie on Laserdisc. Here's the reason, okay? And here's the movie. Check it out.
Beautiful.
Nice big album art, right? You got the back. It's got multiple discs. It's got, this is when Laserdiscs had special features and all this beautiful stuff and a whole lot of writings from Kevin, of course. For those who don't know or have never like seen a Laserdisc play, the idea is, of course, that they're analog, not digital, even though it's a disc. It'll play linearly, so there's no menus or anything like that. But you can select alternate audio sources. And I would say that that's like, if you could somehow put your mindset back in the 90s and you're like, why would I buy a Laserdisc over a VHS player? Or why would I buy Laserdiscs instead of VHSs? One reason was because the audio is I wouldn't say considerably better, but it's better for sure. And I would say that even though it's whatever, it's 320p or something. Even though it's like an analog signal, I would say the color vibrance is a little bit nicer. And the image is a little bit more stable, I think. That's what I would say. So this is a Criterion Collection movie. And I remember, so this is my first Criterion Collection Laserdisc. And I remember hearing him talk about this 20 years ago or whatever, 25 years ago or something. And he was like, really touting the Laserdisc at the time. He was like a big champion of Laserdiscs. And there's a commentary track. I never heard it, of course, or I never heard it on the Laserdisc anyway. They copied it to the DVD. But he had this big special feature, this like intro to the DVD. It was one of my first DVDs I ever had. The year would have been 2002, and I got it for Christmas. So I would have been like 16 years old. And in the intro, he was like, "Hey man, it's me, Kevin." He didn't sound like that back then. He was like, "Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith."
Oh, that was perfect. Perfect code switching.
There might have been some other commentary track where I might have said something crazy like "fuck DVD" or something like that. We would never say that here this is a Criterion Collection DVD, man.
And if you hear somebody on the commentary saying "fuck DVD," just that ain't me. It's probably Mosier or something, or Affleck or Muse.
He went on and on about how he said "fuck DVD." Then you listen to the commentary track, and very early on, he's like, "Hey, welcome to the audio commentary for the Laserdisc. Fuck DVD."
This is a Criterion Laserdisc, and at this moment, we just like to say "fuck DVD." Hi, this is Kevin Smith, your director.
And I always thought that was funny that there was some kind of like a war of media. And so I pop this in. I'm reading the instructions to be like, how do I change the audio source to the commentary track? I find it. And in the opening moments, I hear Kevin Smith say, "fuck DVD" on the Laserdisc. Nina was in the room with me, and I turned to her and I said, "I did it." I finally did it. I heard him say, "fuck DVD" on the Laserdisc. I'm drinking Rollin' Rock on the Rollin' Rocker.
Yeah, Rollin' Rock on the Rollin' Rocker.
Just a side note, there was I was being pointed by some of our fans towards there was an enormous Laserdisc collection that was being sold online for $3,000, which is really not that much money. And it looked to me like it was every Laserdisc that has ever been manufactured. I mean, many. It looked to me like it was thousands of them, or at least hundreds. But one thing I've heard about, of course, optical media all rots, but I hear that Laserdiscs famously rot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, over time. And there was one guy on YouTube that was saying that specifically Columbia TriStar ones, like famously, they were like, in my family, we all decided, it was a big decision in their family. We all decided we're not buying Columbia TriStar Laserdiscs. I want to hear everybody say it out loud.
Do you connect the Laserdisc player with S-Video? Have you tried that yet?
No, but I totally could. Yeah. Right now, the reason it's not connected via S-Video, that's a good question, is because my AV switcher is composite, and it's just easier for me to have everything connected to that thing. You just poke a button, and you've got your, I got them all nicely labeled and stuff. Not unlike James Rolfe.
Because that Panasonic that you have, that 20-inch Panasonic, has excellent S-Video.
Yeah, it looks good.
I have to tell you, because I may have picked up a very similar TV.
Oh, really? Do you have a new one?
Well, on our BoxMax shoot that I don't know if you remember, I saw a listing for a Panasonic TV. It just has it's the same exact model except it just has a DVD player, and I picked it up on the way home, so I have it. And the S-Video is awesome. I would say the S-Video on that TV, the one you have, is probably it's the best image I think you can get on like a CRT.
I've been feeling a little bit of buyer's remorse because you always hear people talk about the Sony Trinitron, and I was like, oh, should I not have bought a Panasonic, DV 2002 or whatever I got?
No,
but
I think that TV is really good, and
better be for what I spent on it.
So and then I got that one, and then I sold some of my other TVs. So
it's summertime, and I was, I work from home on most days. I'm in my office. Nina had to, she was otherwise occupied. And Gloria was wandering around the house around 4 p.m. looking for something to do. And she doesn't like being like by herself. She doesn't like playing by herself. She wants to be in the room with somebody else, but I really needed to be in my office. So there's a rocking chair, a really nice rocking chair that's right in front of my retro station. And so I went up to the DVD wall and I said, let me just pick out a DVD for her and pop one on. That could be fun. And I zeroed in on Tiny Toon Adventures, How I Spent My Vacation. And for any of you out there who are like, no, it's called How I Spent My Summer Vacation. That's something called the Mandela effect.
This is called the Mandela effect, named after Nelson Mandela. The Mandela effect, the Mandela effect.
That it's the Berenstain Bears, but it's Berenstain.
These are my old books, but it was spelled Steen. It was spelled Berenstain.
No, really, it's called How I Spent My Vacation, which blew my mind too. I was like, what? Of course, it's about a summer vacation. So you don't have to be totally mandaled. But anyway, I pop it. So I had the DVD because I have all the seasons, and I think Tiny Toons is the best. I was on Discord the other day. Some confused young people were trying to make fun. And one old guy that should know better. They were making fun of me for liking Tiny Toon Adventures. I was like, gentlemen, this is a good cartoon. This is not.
Yes.
This is. I mean, I'm not ready to call it like Simpsons grade, but it's getting there. It's getting there. If Simpsons is A+, this might be A-, like comparatively. Tiny Toons is good. I mean, I think personally, I prefer Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. They came out with a new Tiny Toons, and I did not watch it, but I noticed that all the voices were different. Like all of them were different cast, and I couldn't do it. It didn't look quite right either. The Animaniacs one was a bit more faithful. I wasn't crazy about that either. It was a bit more faithful. So anyway, so throughout the movie. So the movie's hilarious, by the way. It's it kept taking me by surprise how funny it was. It's like 3 or 4 different plots where like one is that Buster and Babs, they get in like a water gun fight and it turns into a giant Looney Tunes style, water fight where they flood the entire town and then they end up like downriver and they end up like in Deliverance. Basically there's these possums that are like the rednecks from Deliverance, which I'm like, what? There's Deliverance jokes in this fucking thing.
These are good salt of the earth folk. That's what scares me.
I was seeing some clips on the internet of like they had references to like Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy in some of those episodes. So yeah, they wouldn't be above Deliverance.
You will never see animation like that ever again in your lifetime. I don't think. Closest would be like efforts like Cuphead, where they really just went all out and spent the money. But you'll see really great computer animation and nothing wrong with that. But this exquisite cell animation episode after episode after episode for like 100 episodes, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
And it's not just super well illustrated or it's like the cartoonists understood comedy and motion and gags and physical comedy. And I think the characters are hilarious. Just the conceit of Elmira, the girl who loves animals too fucking much and kills, tortures them. There's a scene in this movie where she's talking about like, I'm gonna spend all my time with Furball forever and ever. And she's got the cat by the tail, and once she's not looking, he takes a pair of scissors like to his own tail. And then like something distracts him and he doesn't do it, but he's like about to cut off his own tail to get the fuck out of there.
You're not gonna learn anything floating at the bottom of the pool. Young way coming through, pardon me. Oh, great, just what I need. Hey, Miss Bunny Headhead, that's my baby kitty Booly Wooly. I want it.
Babs and Buster end up in like the deep south, and they encounter this like Christian Baptist like family of crocodiles. And they've got like all these big fat daughters.
I'm Big Boo.
Oh, I'm Sissy Boo. Oh, and I'm Little Boo.
And who are you, you pantless hunk of hair, you?
I'm out of here.
and they want to marry them all off to Buster. And and Babs gets away, and Babs has to save him by posing as like a male fireworks salesman. And, and they're like, well, are you married? And she brings out Byron the dog, the basset hound, and she's like, yeah, say hello to the missus. But the crocodile dad wants to marry Buster to all 3 of his daughters. And Buster goes, I can't marry all 3 of them. That's bigamy. And the crocodile dad goes, no, it's big of me. There's a lot of great gags. My favorite one is Plucky Duck, who's, I think, the funniest character on the show. He's just looking for something to do over the summer, and he finds out that Hampton, his kind of lame friend, is going to Happy World Land.
I remember this plot, yeah.
Yeah, and so he just ends up in the backseat of this lame fucking family for like, a comically long time. It takes all summer basically to get there, and then they ride the monorail once and they go home.
Whoa! That was fun.
I'll say. Now let's go home.
Okay, Mom.
But we didn't do anything. All we did was ride around on the monorail.
Don't want to overdo it the first visit, Plucky. Think what we'll have to look forward to the next time we come.
What?
It's disgusting. It's funny. He has to sit next to stinky Uncle Pete. So like this giant pig uncle that's just gross. He's like sweating all over Plucky. Anyway, so the movie, if you can call it that, makes repeated reference to the fact that it was straight to DVD, not DVD. It was straight to video. They keep saying like, and now the video's begun.
Now the video's begun.
Or in the credits, there's gags about like, this wasn't good enough to go to theaters. And, so they keep talking about it as a video. And I just happened to, Wikipedia search it because I wanted to know, like, what was the nature of the release? Was it just like, did it ever air on TV? Was it just straight to VHS? And it said, Tiny Toon Adventures, How I Spent My Vacation, was a straight to VHS and Laserdisc release. And I was like, you had my curiosity, but now
you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
And it was something like $35. And I was like, you know what? Like, I love that movie. Gloria loves that movie. It's enough of a curiosity. And look at that album art. Come on. It looks just like the show. And the DVD does not. The DVD looks like crap. So it does have, that's the other thing about Laserdisc. It does have chapters. So you can do chapter skip. You just never get a menu. There's nothing on demand about it.
I remember when Tiny Toons was syndicated to like Nickelodeon, they did play that movie on Nickelodeon. Oh, yeah? So
that makes sense. It's like a good length too. I want to say it's like 90 minutes. It's great. If you honestly, like if you're a parent out there, I think it's on Amazon. I think you can get it for like $10 on Amazon or something, Amazon Prime. And you're looking for like a fun summer movie that like, it's hilarious. The animation's great. You're going to like it too. That's one I recommend for sure.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.